Okay, let's talk about the humble thermos. We've all got one, right? That thing that keeps your coffee piping hot or your water ice cold for hours. But have you ever really stopped to wonder how it pulls that off? Because let me tell you, it's not just a fancy bottle. It's an incredible piece of everyday engineering, a silent hero fighting a non-stop battle against the laws of physics.
You know, the best way to think about a thermos is as a fortress. Yeah, a brilliant, multi-layered fortress designed and built for one very specific mission: to defend whatever's inside from the relentless forces of the outside world.
And what is it fighting against? The enemy in this war is heat transfer. It's a universal, unavoidable force. See, nature just wants everything to reach the same temperature. It's constantly trying to even things out. And your thermos is designed to stand right in the middle of that and say, nope.
This whole tendency has a name. It's called thermal equilibrium. You pour a hot coffee, you leave it on the counter, and that heat naturally wants to escape into the cooler air until everything is lukewarm. The thermos is basically a declaration of war on that very idea.
Now, this isn't a simple fight. Oh no. This fortress has to defend itself on 3 separate fronts, all at the same time against 3 totally different kinds of attack. So what are these 3 fronts? They are conduction, convection, and radiation. And to win this war, to keep your drink the temperature you want it, the thermos needs a clever defense for each and every one. So, let's break down the battle plan. All right, first up, let's talk about conduction and convection. These two are kind of the main ground troops of heat transfer, and the thermos takes them both out with one single ingenious design feature.
So let's get our enemies straight. Conduction is heat moving through direct touch, like when you grab a hot pan. Convection is heat that moves through the flow of a liquid or a gas, like the warm air rising from a heater. The thermos's main weapon against both? It's a bottle inside of another bottle with this mysterious gap separating them.
And that right there is the million-dollar question. What on earth is in that space between the 2 walls? Is it air? Some kind of high-tech insulation? What's the secret?
Well, the answer is what makes this whole thing so genius. It is absolutely nothing. It's a vacuum. They've just sucked all the air out.
So why is a vacuum the ultimate weapon here? It's actually pretty simple. Both conduction and convection need stuff. They need matter, molecules, to travel. Conduction needs molecules to bump into each other. Convection needs them to flow around. If you get rid of all the molecules, well, you get rid of the path. The heat gets trapped. It hits that vacuum and has nowhere to go. It's a nearly perfect wall.
But the war's not over yet. There is a third enemy, a much sneakier one. An attacker that can travel right across the emptiness of a vacuum. And that enemy's name is radiation.
See, radiation is heat that travels as invisible waves, kind of like the heat you feel from the sun across millions of miles of empty space. It doesn't need any matter at all. So how does our fortress fight that? With a secret weapon you can't even see, a mirror. The inside of the vacuum is coated with a super reflective silver layer. And this is no ordinary coating. It's specifically designed to be a fantastic reflector of thermal radiation. Think of it like a bouncer at a club for heat waves, just turning them away at the door. And here's where the design is just so smart, because it works both ways. If you've got hot coffee in there, the heat waves trying to escape hit that mirror and get bounced right back in, keeping it hot. But if you've got a cold drink, any heat waves from the outside trying to sneak in get reflected away. It's a brilliant 2-way defense system.
So let's recap. We have a vacuum to stop conduction and convection. We have a mirror to stop radiation. This fortress sounds pretty much perfect, right? Completely sealed off. But is it really impenetrable?
Well, as it turns out, no. Every great fortress has a weak spot, an Achilles heel. And for the thermos, that weakness is something it absolutely cannot function without.
The final weakness, the one chink in the armor, is the stopper, the lid. It's the only place where the inner wall and the outer wall have to make contact, and that connection creates what engineers call a thermobridge, a tiny little path for the enemy to get across. Through this one little bridge, heat can conduct its way out. So, designers do everything they can to make this bridge as hard to cross as possible. They use materials like plastic or cork, which are really bad insulators. Sometimes they even make the stopper hollow to trap a pocket of air inside, because air is also a lousy conductor of heat. It's a compromise, for sure, but it's a very clever one. So you shouldn't just think of the stopper as a weakness. It's more like the final, heavily fortified gatehouse. It's the last line of defense for this whole thermal fortress.
When you put it all together, the double walls, the vacuum, the silver mirror, the insulated stopper, you start to realize that this simple flask is anything but. It's a masterpiece of everyday physics, a device designed to go head-to-head with nature itself.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday masterpieces, these little bits of genius engineering, are just sitting on our shelves, hiding in plain sight?